I have some absolutely stunning breaking news to report on this Tuesday. Corporations are trying to run our whole society, our whole world. Shocker, right? And what do I mean by this? Not only are big tech corporations trying to tell us what we can and can't say freely. If we don't like what you're saying, you will be suspended from our site and you will have to go find a new platform. Oh, but we're going to ban other platforms because they have too many people that have wrongthink on there. These corporations, these companies are also trying to dictate who is running our government, who runs in these political elections. And where's the proof of that? This was a story that was reported yesterday. Google stops donations to U.S. Congress members who voted against the election results. And I am in no way agreeing or advocating for what happened in Washington, D.C. 2 or 3 weeks ago. That violence should be condemned. It should not be tolerated. It should not be promoted. But now that we have these people to blame, these people to say are the enemy, now these corporations are going along with this movement and trying to dictate and trying to censor and choose which politicians we want or they want running our government. In case you didn't know, these corporations are lobbyists for these politicians. They help donate large, huge amounts to these campaigns for politicians that they think are correct, that they represent the values of these companies, which they don't. If these politicians keep the promises and help boost our organization, our company, we will give them as much money as they want. Have you ever heard of the game called Cyberpunk 2077, where corporations own everything? In fact, these corporations go to war with each other and started massive civil wars in the United States in this post-apocalyptic future. Well, that reality is starting to come closer and closer to this reality. Corporations are trying to dictate and own everything that we do. Soon, they won't even try to hide it. These politicians are going to be represented by these corporations. The biggest satirical part of that is the game Cyberpunk 2077 was met with huge backlash when it released in December because it was rushed out the door by the corporation that owned it, CD Projekt Red. It was released as a buggy, unfinished mess. CD Projekt Red is now being sued by the shareholders of that company because the management pushed the game out the door when it wasn't ready. So think about that. The game that is about corporations being corrupt and owning everything got sued in real life because they pushed the game out the door when it wasn't ready. They wanted money faster. The most ironic thing I've ever seen. It's pretty hilarious. But back to this article that it was posted by Reuters. Alphabet Inc.'s Google said on Monday it will not make contributions from its political action committee. Why does Google have a political action committee? Why does it have a super PAC? Why does Google have a political action committee? Why are they dictating what politicians should and shouldn't say or what their policies should be? Why do we allow this to happen in our society? Why are we letting these giant billion-dollar corporations represent us? They don't represent us. They represent the 1%. They represent Silicon Valley. What percentage of the population actually lives in Silicon Valley? Actually is in that 1%? Well, that 1% is shrinking every single day. But why are we letting them represent who represents us? Public servants. Why are we letting them donate billions of dollars to these people that have no interest in serving us? Google's PAC will not donate to any member of this election cycle in Congress who voted against certifying the results of the presidential election. And it's not really about that part of it. It's that these corporations are choosing sides. It's obvious. If you're a Republican or an independent or anyone that's not on the left, They're making it very obvious. We're not going to give you money. If you're not in the group, you are out of luck. You're shit out of luck. You're not getting any money from us. Change the way you think. Change your political party. Change your whole stance in order to get our money. Otherwise, you stand no chance of winning the election. It is all a popularity contest, and the only way to gain popularity is through advertisement, and the only way to get that money is through lobbying. And these lobbyists are represented by these billion-dollar corporations. It is a huge cycle. Earlier this month, following the violent storming of the U.S. Capitol, the tech giant had paused all political contributions to reassess its policies towards political contribution. AKA, we're not giving our money to people on the right, to the people that voted against certifying the election. But the people on the left that were fighting against certifying Donald Trump for 4 years, we gave them all the money. These corporations are supposed to be independent. They're supposed to be non-partisan. Well, we all know that's BS. The NetPAC board has decided that it will not be making any contributions this cycle to any member of Congress who voted against certification of the election results, a Google representative said in a statement. A couple hundred people should not represent a whole political party, and that's what they're doing. The president, Joe Biden, is calling for unification, for unity for our whole nation, yet we have these things happening behind the scenes that say the opposite. It's the complete opposite of unification. These billion-dollar corporations are donating to one side of the political spectrum. They're disenfranchising the whole other side, even people in the middle. You have to be on a particular side, the left, or you're getting no money from us. And in turn, you're not going to get elected. There's no way in the year 2021 and beyond that you're going to win an election without billions of dollars coming from these super PACs. There's no way. Unless we change the way our political system works. And why would they let that happen? They won't let that happen unless we rise up as a people, and that's a whole different topic. Following the incident, Republicans in Congress faced blowback from several corporate firms who paused campaign donations and said they were reviewing their policies. Why should they even care? Why do we live in a society where we have to care what these corporations think about our politicians, about our public servants? Because they obviously have a huge impact in DC. They donate billions of dollars to these people, so they're being threatened, they're being essentially blackmailed to say, if you don't think the way these corporations think, which is all group mentality, group think, then we're not donating to you. We're not donating to your campaign. Therefore, you stand no chance to get reelected. It is legal blackmail. Amazon.com, AT&T, Comcast, Verizon are among the many big companies who have threatened to throttle fundraising resources for Republicans. What is the definition of blackmail? Is it threatening someone through monetary value or trying to embarrass them through public means? AKA threaten someone? These billion-dollar companies are blackmailing politicians saying, if you don't vote the way we want you to vote, if you don't think the way that we want you to think, you're out. The cancel culture that exists on social media is just a microcosm of everything that's going on right now. These corporations that coincidentally own these social media companies are doing it at a higher level, at a macrocosm level. They're canceling people that they don't agree with. They're fact-checking people. They're fact-checking politicians that they don't think are correct. They don't think are thinking the right way. We're only going to donate to people that think the way that these corporations think. Does that not lead down a dystopian path where corporations control everything? Which, if you're paying attention, they kind of already do. AT&T and Comcast, for example, are among the biggest corporate donors in Washington. What do AT&T and Comcast own? Let's see. Well, they own telecommunication, they own media companies, they own television shows, they own music. What are the biggest platforms of media? They own all four of them. So not only are these companies telling people how to vote, showing people what they want you to see. These corporations own everything, and they're trying to own the politicians as well. They already do. We need to wake up as a society. Are we just going to let these corporations keep doing what they're doing? I'm sorry if this was a long rant, but this just has to be said. We do not want to turn into a cyberpunk society, which is a society controlled by corporations. We just need to stand up as a people and stop these corporations from controlling our whole lives, people. It's more out in the open than ever before. There are stories like this coming out every single day. We need to organize more as a society before this gets way even more out of hand, before they can monopolize even more. That should be the biggest takeaway from this video. And that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed and found some informative value. If you want to support me on this journey I am taking, please hit that like button and subscribe. I plan on making videos 3 to 4 times a week. Some of it will be like this, newsworthy stuff that's not really covered by the mainstream media, and spiritual information. Do you like shirts? Do you like posters? Well, I have the website for you. I have opened a Teespring store where I have a couple posters, a couple t-shirts. The website is teespring.com/stores/sensei-productions-merch. I will be posting a link in the video and in the description below. Thank you for watching. You are appreciated. I hope you have a great rest of your day and an amazing year in 2021. Namaste.